In Universe 7. In Universe 7, but specifically on the planet of the God of Destruction Beerus, Vegeta was training to get stronger and strengthen his power of destruction on Beerus's planet, with both Whis and Beerus as his mentors. Vegeta was trying to improve his Hakai. His goal was to have the same power that Lord Beerus had, although it was difficult for him. At this same moment, Vegeta stops his training to look around, and when he realizes Goku still hasn't arrived, he was confused as Goku usually arrived at the planet earlier than him, but this time, for some reason, the opposite happened. Suddenly, the Angel Whis arrives. Noticing Vegeta's present confusion, he says, "Mr. Vegeta, you must be wondering where Mr. Goku is, right? Unfortunately, he couldn't come today from the looks of it. The other world is in a big mess and Mr. Kaio had to ask Goku for help," Whis said, clarifying Vegeta's doubts. Guys, before continuing this epic story, I left your like to help the channel, and of course, if you can, I also left a super thank you and help the channel financially, and also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any news. Now let's go back to the video. Whis just watched Vegeta's training. He was getting happy with his progress. If he continued at this rate, even Goku could be surpassed. Vegeta says, "Whis, what's happening in the other world? It's not at all common for this to happen suddenly." Vegeta spoke, even more confused and curious about the answer the angel would give. Whis sighs, and quickly his look becomes more serious and begins to explain that the other world ended up suffering a disturbance in the cycle of souls, and not even King Yama knows how it happened. From the looks of it, souls are being absorbed and are being taken out of the other world, as if someone was devouring souls. Vegeta looked surprised but still stared at Whis with his serious gaze. Now he understood the gravity of the situation. He had never heard of someone who could absorb souls from another plane before. Certainly someone like that must be very powerful. Vegeta said, "Okay, I understand the situation. But why didn't they call me? After all, we both have Divine Ki. The situation would be easily resolved if I were to," sighed Vegeta, who was a little irritated that they hadn't called him in a situation as serious as this. Whis began to smile in response to Vegeta's speech and began to clap both his hands with joy and said, "Now, Mr. Vegeta, I ended up forgetting to tell you this information for a brief moment, but Lord Beerus asked me to take over his role as God of Destruction until he returns from his meeting with Zeno-sama. That's one of the reasons you can't help Goku right now." Vegeta asked, "What do you mean, Whis?" Because now, I am not fit for this position. You must already know that I have neither the power nor the technique to take on this role. And by the way, what meeting would that be? I know Zeno-sama is involved in it, but is it so important that Beerus would let me take over his position on a temporary basis?" said Vegeta, who was very nervous. Whis walks towards Vegeta and puts his hand on his shoulder, smiling. He says, "Calm down, Mr. Vegeta. This is really surprising coming from Beerus. Even I was surprised when he considered you taking over his temporary position, but you are the most qualified to take over this position. You are already heading towards the path of the Hakaishins, and by the way, you are getting stronger and stronger over time, and also, Mr. Beerus didn't choose you just because of the path you followed, but because of your character and your personality," Whis said, trying to calm Vegeta and alleviate the situation. Whis said, "And out of respect for Sir Beerus's meeting, the meeting not only involves Sir Beerus and Zeno-sama, but it involves all the gods of destruction. The meeting is held in Zeno-sama's palace, and it is a test of values. Every million years, Zeno-sama carries out a test with all the gods of destruction, with the aim of testing their values as gods and whether they are still worthy of remaining in office. And because of that, if it's a test of values, the objective is for all gods to test their values as mortals, basically. That's why Beerus is giving your position temporarily to you," spoke Whis, explaining the concepts of the meeting in a calm and objective way to Vegeta. Vegeta said, "I understand now. Very well then, I will accept the position. Being a god of destruction cannot be easy, but I will do my best to do Mr. Beerus's work efficiently. I'm counting on you to help me with this, Whis," said Vegeta excitedly. He was definitely ready to take on the great responsibility that would come next. Whis watched Vegeta with a satisfied smile, and then it was done. Vegeta was now named as a replacement God of Destruction. At that same moment, Whis, who grabs his staff and raises it upwards, begins to project the image of a distinct planet in space, and at the same time begins to make an explanation. "Very well, Mr. Vegeta. This will be your job as a temporary god of destruction. You will have to destroy this planet completely. However, This planet is different from the others. It does not have mass or anything tangible. Its nature is purely spiritual, which is perfect for you to test the power of your Hakai. If you manage to disintegrate this planet, it means that your training has borne many fruits, spoke Whis. Offering Vegeta's first job, he was eager to see the result of how Vegeta would do. Vegeta says, "Whis, let me ask you, does this planet deserve to be destroyed? I honestly wouldn't want to exterminate planets without the greatest need. I don't think that's right. I would be killing the lives of millions of innocent people. It's hypocritical of me because I've done this before, but I changed my way of thinking." Vegeta said he was thinking he could complete this job easily, but from the looks of it, it would be more difficult than he thought. His head was full of information, but even so, he wanted to hear what the angel had to say. Whis said, "It's an interesting question, Mr. Vegeta. Do they really deserve to be destroyed? Firstly, Mr. Vegeta, do you know what the main function of a god of destruction is?" commented Whis, who was speaking with sarcasm, but still, he wanted to hear what the prince thought. Vegeta says, "Well, from what I know, Kaioshin create things. They are the side of creation present in the universe. Now the gods of destruction are the destructive side, basically. Would it be a balance?" Whis smiled again, laughing loudly, and as he laughed, he began to say, "Exactly. Everything is about balance. The Kaioshins create and the gods of destruction destroy. Everything in the universe is about having a continuous balance. To prove this, the gods of destruction cannot live without a Kaioshin, because if a Kaioshin ends up dying, the god of destruction ends up dying too, as both are linked by the jobs they have. Do you understand now, Mr. Vegeta?" Vegeta begins to reflect, being still. He still had conflicts in his mind. And to begin, he comments to the angel, "Okay, now I understand completely in a way. Now I am connected with the Kaioshin of Universe 7. Well, thanks for the explanation. I will go to the planet you mentioned. Thank you," said Vegeta, who at that same moment asked Whis to take him to the planet, and so the angel does. He holds Vegeta's shoulder and teleports him to Beerus's flying cube, and then the two leave the planet of Beerus towards space. After a few seconds in space, Vegeta and Whis finally arrive on the planet. Vegeta was surprised when he looked at the planet up close, as this planet had a devastating energy, but incredible as it seemed, it did not give off divine ki or even normal ki. It was something like a distinct energy. Vegeta, perplexed by the planet, looks at Whis and says, "Whis, are you sure there are living beings on this planet? It's something very strange. It seems that the planet itself has life, as I can feel a great distinct energy coming from it." "This is weird," said a confused Vegeta, trying to understand the nature of the planet. Whis said, "As incredible as it may seem, I can't feel it either. In fact, I'm in the same situation as you. The only thing I can perceive is the distinct energy that comes off this planet. You can't tell it apart, even though you've already seen it, right? The energy that this planet emanates is pure magic, which is strange. I thought magic had become more absent in this universe," spoke Whis, who had a bad feeling about this planet. Vegeta says, "A planet with magic!" Vegeta shouted in fright. So guys, the video ends here, but remember, don't forget to like the video to motivate me to bring epic videos like this one. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any news. So bye.